Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Building Drayton Manor in Planet Coaster. This is now episode 13 of the series and it is also the Christmas special. So as we go through Thomasland, you can see the bits of building that I have built between the last episode. And yeah, I haven't really done much behind them, but it's mainly facade because behind it it's all storage, like sheds for equipment, and yeah, they all burnt down the other day, but I built them anyway. So the next thing that I probably need to do is move the airport over a bit, as well as some of the rides in this entire area of Thomasland, so then it's more scale. I don't know why I didn't, but I don't think I've actually ridden this one yet, so let's give this a quick ride. And also, the reason why I was thinking about riding this one is because of, if you look at the sort of vehicles, like sleighs, and it's Christmas. So, if you're watching this, it's, Christmas time, and I'd like to put in you guys put in the comments, what Christmassy things have you been doing? A bit of, I haven't done too much so far because it's not necessarily Christmas Day yet. And if you look, that is the big Christmas tree. I've put it in the middle of where the Cuban 8 roll thing was in G-Force, and it looks pretty nice, as well as some of the Christmas music that's around. You do have to love a good bit of Christmas music to just brighten the festivities in this absolute dog year. However, if you look around the rest of the park, you'll see that I have replaced the grass all around the park with snow. This is kind of annoying because every time that you try and edit which bits of land that you use, it always resets it to the default. So you need to remember what I've also done with the concrete and which positions I put that in. And right now, looking good in which textures we've put where. And yeah. And there's also one piece of music that can't be changed to Christmas music. Yeah. The pirate music. Absolute classic. So as we slide into our first time lapse, which is one of me building the main queue line and just pandemonium in general. I didn't really do much with this. I built a quick shelter because that's all I could remember, but I didn't do that much sort of stuff with having Google Earth in the background. You may also notice that this entire time lapse is done in the dark, and that's because it's darkest day of the year as of the time of recording this, and I thought it'd be nice to have the Christmas special all in the dark. Don't usually play in the dark that much other than when I'm adding a bit of light or want to make sure that something looks quite nice. And another thing that you might also notice is that I replaced all of the time-lapse background music with Christmas instrumental, which adds sort of another layer of Christmassiness to this episode. And let's just let you guys have a little listen to it. You've got to admit that it was kind of funny having Silent Night to me building a ride, or the station for a ride called Apocalypse. My English teacher would say that was a bit of juxtaposition, but I will leave that up to you guys to decide. Well, now I'm just adding in just little bits of plants all around the entire Buffalo area. This is one of the greener parts of the park, I guess. But now, after this clip, it is time for the fireworks show, which I've put quite a lot of effort into. And now all I'm doing is just adding a bit of fences around the outside of the paths here. I'm not necessarily sure what's the point of having all of these fences here. I think it's just so then people aren't going into a restricted area. But it is now that time of episode where I build something right in front of your very eyes. Right now I'm just adding in the first couple of turns in Splash Canyon. So after this part it goes into a bit more of a rapids section. So I'll just add that in there before going into a couple more tight turns. And yeah, it goes near the train and then it goes near the lift hill and quite a lot of Shockwave, and it also goes under the 0G rule. So I've done something wrong here, whether or not it's just because I didn't do that part of the main process of making a theme park, of just making sure that everything goes to scale by doing the Google Maps thing. However, I've done something wrong here as well, in the fact that I haven't made the entire course go down at all. So let's just redo the entire course with the track going down. So then I can... Oh, it didn't go down enough. Okay. Let's just make sure that it keeps on just continuously going down. Should work if it goes underground, which it is. That's good. And then at the end of the course, you'll just have a lift hill followed by the station. The station, just like many of the Intamin Rapid rides, is one of those like rotation ones. And the only rapids that I have been on, they just have those rotation ones. So I'm not sure why they didn't add them into Planet Coaster. It's probably so it's a lot simpler, but to be completely honest, they probably added the same sort of rotation ones into Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, because everything was in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. I still am kind of that Epic took away my Roller Coaster Tycoon account, and now they're trying to make me pay for it. So, you know, yeah, very annoying. And just make sure that all of this is sort of out of the snow, so then we don't have a boat bump into a bit of rock. The ride is closed, but we still do need to make it somewhat realistic, which brings me on to the point that the ride is just a bit off, and yeah, it goes underneath quite a lot of Shockwave, including the 0G roll, and that just means I need to rotate it, which yeah, I just did. Just need to make sure it is called Splash Canyon, and sure, let's give it a bit of a ride with all of my little dummy friends. So, you know, bit of a turn going around this first corner, bit of a bob, I guess. I think the trains were a little, the rafts were a little bit smaller when it was still open. So I think it was 8 people to one train, car, whatever, raft. Don't know why I keep saying train, it's not a roller coaster. So make sure that we can get underneath this roller coaster. Bit of a head chopper to the extent of our heads are going through it. Oh, another head obliterator. Yeah, it was just 8 people per raft, and this one is more than that. As you see, we've got some nice interaction with Shockwave going right over our heads. You might be able to see it go down this first drop if we are just angled right. We're now on that rapids section, so we're definitely going to be turning and bobbing a lot more. So it's probably a bit late for this, but anybody that suffers with violent seasickness should probably not watch this remaining section of me riding this ride. I reckon that we might be able to get another train to circulate in the time that it takes us to get back into the main station house area. So, a bit of autosave there. And just admire the fireworks from this angle for another little bit of time. Train still hasn't came. And we might be on the conveyor belt by now. Yeah, we're on it now. So hopefully, we just got absolutely decapitated again. And the train is going through the drop. Let's just stop everybody from looking at it as it reverses the layout, and make sure that we have a couple more trains, rafts on the rest of the ride, because there were quite a lot when I rode it back in 2017, but we're back onto the standard sort of thing, where there is only as many rafts that you can put on the ride as there are that can fit in the station. And I'm not really sure if there is another way to do that. So it's been long enough. It's probably time that I should actually put an outer shell on this Shockwave station. I've done it and redone it at least 5-6 times maybe, and hopefully this should be the final time that I completely redo this entire part of the ride. I feel exhilarated even though I've already filmed this part and it's sped up 8 times. So what do you guys think of this station so far? So I needed to find the right sort of roof, because it is actually a corrugated sort of texture. However, when you change the colour on the corrugated roofs, it only changes the colour of the wood inside of it. So that wasn't good. Now, this next bit, I'm just making sure that this roof bit meets up at the right point in the middle. And yeah, that's all good. And just this final bit of wall. And the station should be done, other than the bit of wall on the other side. But we ignore that bit of stuff on the other side. And I think this is our final clip of the day. And this is the whole area by the, what's it called? Blue Mountain Engines, that's what it is. So what I've done is I've created this rock face, which the entire back of that side of Thomasland is dominated by. It's more like a outer wall sort of thing, and just need to make sure that it curves in to actually sort of trap everybody into Thomas Land. And this next bit, I need to add in the whole arch, which is a way for the probably staff and zookeepers that operate in sort of area behind it. They need to like get out of Thomas Land and into the staff only areas behind it, and that is what this main door is for. And there's a bit of greenery around it, which you can see I've put in. And this building here is the sort of Blue Mountain Engine's main prop piece. You know, that sounds kind of weird. Now think about it. Prop piece. You know, it sort of has a weird like sound to it. It's hard to describe unless if you do it yourself. And if you do it yourself, then well done. So just need to add in the main chimney as well as the other bit of roof into the top, and as well as that there's a door and a window that go on the side. Anyway, I think that is the end of this episode. So thank you for watching. Please do feel to drop a like, subscribe, all of that. This is the last upload of 2020. So yeah, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year for you all.